Hey guys, it's Daniel and Mariah here, and today we are going to talk about
I'm really excited about
how do you know when you found the one?
Awesome. We're really excited about this. I want to start with a bit of a caveat because it's kind of like false advertising because I don't necessarily believe that there's the one out there. I think that multiple people work with multiple people.
Yeah.
But what we want to kind of discuss is what to look for when deciding whether or not you want to take your relationship to the next step. The person you're dating could turn into the person you're married to.
Yes.
And so we're going to kind of have a conversation about that
Yeah.
and what it looked like for us as well.
Okay, so I remember when we were dating, one of the very first things that made me think, I think he's the one. I think I want to marry him is I pictured my life and everything ahead of me, and I pictured all the good things, but mostly I pictured the bad things that could happen.
Yeah.
Maybe the tragedies that you go through, or deaths in the family, or things that come up all of a sudden. And I thought to myself, I want Daniel there through all of those, not just through every good thing, but through every bad thing. And that to me it signaled a lot of things. It signaled that to me you were a solid person. To me you were someone who I know would support me, not run away in tragedy. To me you were someone who I know is willing to work through things that come up. So yeah, that was a big thing for me.
Yeah, and I'd say similarly for me, I remember thinking about potential family because both of us wanted to have kids.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, would I be okay if our kids turned into this person?
Mm-hmm.
And I remember thinking there's so many good qualities about you that made me think I'd be okay if my daughter looked like you, or if my son behaved the way you behaved, or saw life the way you saw life. And it's just it's so important because when you're in the dating phase, it can be so easy to think very temporary and think, okay, what's ahead of me? And as much as you don't date someone for their potential, I think it's important to consider their potential and be like, okay, what do their parents look like? How do they talk to each other? What have they seen growing up in the home? And if you were to kind of paint a picture of their trajectory as a person, are you okay with that picture?
Yeah.
Based on what you know about them, their family of origin, their personality, and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's so good. I think another thing that's really important is being attracted to the person, and this isn't in the sense that most people would think, which is physical attraction, but I think what's more so important is that you are drawn to the person, that you want to spend time with them, that you like their personality, and you just enjoy talking to them and being with them. And I think I had a friend one time where she was telling me her and her boyfriend were long distance, and she was telling me yeah, sometimes he gets a little sad because I don't call him as much. And I was like, well, why don't you? And she was like, well, I just like spending time with my friends. And that was just really interesting to me because I was kind of thinking, well, shouldn't you want to talk to him? Shouldn't you want to call him? Shouldn't you miss him?
And the caveat, too, is that different personalities are different. Some personalities are more excitable when it comes to romance than others, and you want to stay up late to talk to your significant other.
Yeah.
But you're going to want there to be a desire. If that person walks into a room and it's an event, for example, that you've been at for a while, and you're kind of neutral or negative in response to their entry into that room, you probably shouldn't be marrying them. It's you want to feel excited when you come to an event, or if you pop in to kind of a place I'm in, or I see you in a coffee shop and I didn't know you were going to be there, I'm excited to see you. You know what I mean? And so I think there needs to be that level of attraction. Yeah. And I think that you commented on it a bit about not necessarily physical attraction, and we would say physical attraction is to some extent important, but it's not the main thing. At the end of the day, the friendship is more important than the romance, because every day is not Valentine's Day in a marriage. There's times where you have to really fight for romance, but the thing that sustains you, especially in marriage the way we see it, as a covenant, as a commitment first, as a feeling, or love as a feeling second, it's so important that our friendship is intact. So I would say for people out there, if you're if it's hard for you to debrief a day with someone, if it's hard for you to really bond with them outside of romance, pay attention to that, because that might mean that what you see as a friendship is actually just a romantic relationship co-opted and almost like caricatured as a friendship when it's actually not.
Yeah, so good. Anything else that you can think of?
Yeah, I would say like it's so important. Like I wouldn't say base your decision based on your community, but I would say like because there's always family members who will be super or friends that will be super for every single decision you make and every single person you choose, or super against every person you choose and every decision you make.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say fully make a decision on whether someone is the one based on your community or friendships. But I do think it's very important to like, okay, what are my family saying about this person? If I have a close relationship with my family, or if it's friends, or if it's a grandparent. Like, I was actually saved from going too far in a relationship because of an elderly couple where the man was a bit of a mentor in my life in that. And if I didn't listen to them, I would have made the wrong decision and I wouldn't have ever met you.
Yeah.
So it's so important to like listen to what your community says about the person, about the relationship, and then about how the relationship affects you.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you can't see how a relationship affects you because you're in it.
Yes.
But like the people outside of your life, and it's not like your boys saying like, bro, you never play video games with us anymore since you've been in the relationship.
Yeah.
I'm talking about like character changes. I mean like, since you've been dating this person, you become less cognizant of personal hygiene, or you
Such a random.
maybe that was a bad example. Maybe it's like maybe it's like, you get what I mean. I don't know. It's the person that guilt. Maybe it's like, since you started dating that person, you become more lazy, or you're late to work more. You don't value giving your all anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so you got to pay attention to those things and allow your community to kind of move forward.
Yeah, and I think like if you don't have that community, I really encourage that you try to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Really pour into people in your life. Try to build those relationships. Spend that time, because when you're jumping into marriage, you'll want community around you as well. I would say that.
Yeah, and the last pro tip that I would say, we touched on this in a previous video, but really discern, like in the dating phase, discern like the workability of a relationship in the boring, because oftentimes we can like go like fun date to fun date. And assume that, this person's the perfect match, but we've only ever gone to the movies and bowling.
Yeah, it's like you want to take them grocery shopping.
Yeah.
You want to go, maybe if you go to the gym, go to the gym
Yeah,
with
do
them.
some chores around the house with
them.
Help.
Just do normal life stuff, because soon enough you'll be living normal life with that person, and you want to make sure that you guys flow well together. So, yeah.
And if the feelings are real, they'll also be real in the routine. So make sure to keep that in mind, because we want to see people win.
Yeah.
That's all for now.
Awesome. Thank you so much for listening to this video. If you have any tips or anything that came to mind when you were deciding to get married to someone and you were like, yes, this is the reason why I know this is the one, please comment below.
Also, if you're in the middle of a relationship right now and you're discerning right now, like drop in the comments topics you'd like us to cover to that end, because we'd love to support you in your process of discerning as well.
Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next week.
Again, make sure to comment, because we do believe that the best conversations aren't the one that's happening here, but the ones that are happening in the comments.
Yeah.
All the best. See you next time.
See you next week.